Oh, shoot. I'm going to need the charger.
Which?
Oh, I am, yeah, my longer one.
We're on your own?
Yeah, please. I literally just went live in the same exact outfit. YouTube is going to really be all over the place, confused. There's been a lot of chaoticness that's been happening. So, for anybody that may have missed the previous live, I'm back. My success story girl is here also. And the sales for the journal are going through the roof, so I'm really, really happy about that, and I'm really grateful. Everybody needs it. It's going to literally solve everybody's problem all at once. So, we have a live success story. Thank you, kind sir. Okay, this is like knotted. And if anybody is ready to hear it, she is ready to tell it. So, please do share this out to your friends and like it so that individuals can come and enjoy it and love it. Yeah, sure, go ahead. And I'm just going to let her chime in, give her a call, and she's going to talk to you guys about, oopsies, what's exactly been her experience glowing up her self-concept in personal coaching and just manifestation in general. So, anybody that wants to hear it, she's going to be talking about it. Hello, my love.
Hello.
Yay. Okay, good. Can everybody hear her? Just let me know in the comments down below. I'm sure you can, but I just like to verify because there have been some times in the past where I was like maybe holding my hand over the microphone and I was like, just don't want to do that again.
Got you.
The chaotic nature of this evening has been incredible.
I am loving it. I love it.
I'm such an organized person that I feel like my internal nervous system is going a little bit off whack. But I mean, I agree. It's like spontaneity is nice every now and then. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
The disturbance
I'm
in
like
the
the same
force.
way. I need to be organized. I need to have like my notepad.
Right.
Actually, let me get my notebook. Actually,
the disturbance
like,
in the
I have
force.
my notebook. I was in preparation. You're like, let's do a live. I was like, yes. Let me write down my notes for what to say.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. And I mean, I think everybody else is ready for it too. So in all honesty, I have already gone live today. I'm not sure if you realized it or not, but
Oh, okay.
I do not want to like, I feel like my people are going to be so confused because it's like I went live earlier. Now we're going to go live again. But once again, we're just flowing with the chaotic nature of this. And it's going to be a lot of fun irrespective. So I'm going to let my beautiful...
I think they're going to love it either way because they love hearing you. Like, they love hearing from you. They just want to, like, I think they just want a 24-hour live of you talking.
I think that would be everybody's Christmas list. I agree with you entirely. And because it's like literally I could never be on live long enough. Like they'll continue. I think you're actually absolutely 100% correct actually. But my love, I am going to let you talk and introduce yourself in whatever way you feel comfortable. Maybe just to give some type of general structure. Should you want to talk about like where you were when you came into my world, maybe what were some things that you were wanting to work on, and then just like literally like almost like a synopsis, a Cliff Notes version of what's been happening, what's been going on, the types of progress that you've seen throughout it, maybe what's been your experience, however you want to phrase things. And we are just going to build from there.
Okay, that sounds great. So let me start from how I found Persis. I found Persis around, I would say, September, like late September. Okay. And I actually found you through your Inner Conversations meditation.
Yes.
And I found it, and to be honest, I didn't think much of it until you kept popping up on my YouTube, and then I saw your manifestation equation video on YouTube. And my logical mind was like, what? An equation? I love that. So I watched it and I was like, okay, this makes perfect sense. I love it. And I have been in the, I guess you can say manifestation or law of assumption community or understanding of it for about maybe 2 years. So I've seen, the creators come and go, all of these techniques and everything like that, like overconsumed a lot of information because I was just really obsessed with the idea that you could manifest whatever you want with your thoughts and with your mindset. I thought that was just like an amazing concept.
Yeah.
And so I went through all of the phases, like all of them, everything that was trending. So I felt really exhausted because there were so many like techniques and so much information that I always felt kind of lost.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had a good portion of information from everyone, but I didn't know how to put it together.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. You're literally describing me at the start of my own journey.
Yeah.
Literally describing me.
Which
Sorry,
is
go
so
ahead.
funny because no, it's okay. When I found you, it was literally seeing myself. Like, you were talking about how you found manifestation and you had all of this information but didn't know how to put it together. And I was like tripped out because I felt like you were talking for me.
Yeah.
And
I was just your
that's
mouthpiece.
what I really loved about you.
Yeah.
That's what I really loved about you. And I was like, okay, so she's like me, like she's one of us. Like,
yeah.
And then I would be kind of envious of people on, because there's like Law of Assumption Twitter.
Yeah.
And I would be envious of these girls, like, who are doing amazing, by the way, manifesting things left and right. And I'm like, I've been in this community for longer than they have.
Yeah.
I've heard all of the information. Why am I not manifesting my SP? Why am I not manifesting the way they're doing it?
Yep.
And
literally me.
There was so much misinformation. Like, you were coming in with self-concept, and I was like triggered with the phrase self-concept because I was like, okay, in my understanding before I met you, self-concept was like feeling beautiful and feeling physically attractive. It wasn't like your conception and your identity of yourself, you know? And you broke it down, and you were like coming in with the facts, with the time frames, and I was like really interested in all of it.
Yeah.
So I subscribed to your YouTube channel and was like, keeping my eye on you. And then I was seeing all of these success stories pouring in, and I was like, okay, let me check back on Persis, because she's doing something different. Like, I know the equation is something completely different, and everything you were doing was making a lot of logical sense, but I was still like hesitant to find a new creator and pursue with their information, And so I came in with the intention of manifesting my SP, which I know a lot of people are doing now. And I came with the intention of manifesting my SP, and I would say that I tried doing my self-concept work from your videos, but I was just not getting the results that I wanted. So I started doing like some sort of self-concept work around September when I found you. And I was like doing I'm chosen, I'm worthy, I'm good enough, but they were never permeating me, because I knew, like, I felt it. I know when something was sinking into me, or if it was just reaching surface level.
Yeah.
And at that point, I had a lot of self-sabotaging tendencies, I guess, that I didn't know why it was happening. I just thought that maybe going through this little quote-unquote separation with my SP was just like, I just didn't know how to handle like the rumination. Like, I was ruminating on so much from our past, and just I didn't know how to get out of it. It literally felt like I was in a hamster wheel of just in my head going back to our memories and just thinking about the past, and then fooling myself by affirming self-concept. And this was before I had gone on to do one-on-one coaching with you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I'm just not having the right application. I don't know if my affirmations are specific enough. I just need some help. you know?
Yeah.
And I was at that point where I didn't even really care if I manifested him back. I just wanted to feel better with myself.
Yeah. That's good.
I just wanted to feel like happy and at peace with my mind, you know? You know what sucks? It sucks to just think about the past all day.
Yeah.
Every day. And that sucks. Like, that's the worst thing to do. And I couldn't get out of it.
Yeah.
And so it took me a while, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to give October a shot all by myself, trying to do your techniques and trying to do self-concept, but again, it wasn't sufficient. It wasn't sufficient. So I booked with you, and I told you about my situation, and you gave me my affirmations, and then I just went, ham on my affirmations you gave me to start off my self-concept. And within, I would say, a week and a half, I was already feeling so much more better.
Yeah.
And I'm someone that is very self-aware. So I like to think about, okay, what is the difference between how I felt and how I act and the way I feel when I was doing it by myself? And how is it different than when I'm doing it with you, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, by myself, I felt lost. I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. And then with you, it's like, your affirmations were very detailed to my situation. And it wasn't very specific, but they were just detailed and very well-rounded.
Yeah.
You know? And they made me feel like no matter what, this was going to be true about me. So it was rebuilding my self-concept, and within a week and a half, I would say, I was feeling extraordinarily different. Like, I finally felt like confident again. I felt happy again. And I realized that a lot of my ruminating tendencies were dissipating.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so this is just for my self-concept and like my wounded self-concept and insecurity. And I remember I came to you. I was like, well, I don't know if I can manifest him back because of, like, it was something silly, like messages that I left.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, that's not going to stop you from manifesting him back. Like, these little things are not going to they're not going to stop you from manifesting him back. And in my head, I had built these little situations so high in my mind, thinking that they were like the end-all be-all to my situation. I'm like, man, because I texted him once, that means I can't ever have him again. And I had them like super high on a pedestal and being like, oh my God, like before I found you, it was like I would take 2 steps forward and be like, okay, yes, I think this can happen for me. But then I would be like, well, this happened, so, and then I would stay in that.
And you'd
for
spiral.
like 2 or 3 more days.
Yeah.
And it was, and that was how it was before I met you. And I didn't know how to get out of it, you know?
No, I totally get it. And you started to feel better. So I want to recap for some people that are going in and out. Excuse me, because I see the follower count or like the, I guess, attending count going up and down. So she had been following me on social for a couple months. She was hesitant in and out, having so much information, but just didn't really know how to, apply it or make it work for her. She saw tons of people get a lot of results faster, different maybe forums or Twitter feeds and stuff like that, and was just like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what is not clicking for me? Came across the page, found the equation, stuff like that. Eventually broke, I guess you could say, and got one-on-one coaching. And in the first week and a half, after breaking down her situation and giving her peace of mind and reassurance and answering all her questions for how and why certain things happen the way that they happened, I do find one of the beauties of one-on-one coaching is the ability to literally just have me at your discretion. have me at your disposal, because there really is no type of replacement for unlimited style of coaching. And I mean, if you look into our chat and stuff, we've got like these long ass messages. We've got all these like voice memos and stuff like that. Like, there really is nothing, in my humble opinion, that compares to just spiraling and having a coach in your DMs. Like, I don't think so. And that's the reason that I made my style of coaching the way that it was, because of the fact that when I was in that type of phase, what I needed more than anything was almost like friendship style coaching. I needed someone to literally just talk to literally just understand, to literally just vent out. And me purchasing, as an example, 5 emails at the time wasn't going to cut it. I needed so much more than what any coach was offering. So that's kind of how and why, that type of coaching came about. But anyway, I don't mean to digress. You started to see results in a week and a half of using the new affirmations. Once again, it goes to show, when you laser in on what's the problem and try to almost like spot reduce, so to speak, the result happens pretty fast. How many months were you trying, if you don't mind me asking already, manifestation on your own before, like in the sense, like, you saw results in the first week and a half with me, but how long had you been trying manifestation on your own and not really getting results?
Okay, so, very briefly, like, I would say a year ago, I was manifesting as a completely different SB.
Mm-hmm.
And he was someone with I think on TikTok, this was when I had TikTok.
Okay.
And I was manifesting him and, really optimistic and everything. Never. I manifested an insane amount of signs, synchronicities.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I knew I was having thought transmission with that man.
Yeah.
I knew, like, that gave me a lot of support and evidence, but I never manifested him in, like, completely.
Got it. Understood.
And so I gave up on that one. But I never focused on my self-concept. It was completely affirmations on him. And then I met my current SP. And and everything was like how I said to you. I said that he came in, like, perfect for me.
Yeah.
But I know I hadn't healed my self-concept wounds from previous friendships, previous relationships, and just things came up, circumstances came up where we hit no contact in May, I would say. Around May.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to manifest him back, but at the same time, I was, like, how I said, ruminating on the past, making up a bunch of excuses for why this couldn't happen. Like, oh, he has all of this that he needs to focus on first, but I still want to be with him, but like, being extremely double-minded. So I would say I was trying to manifest him back during summer.
Okay.
Yeah, during summer, and I did manifest him back, but it was basically for less than 2 weeks, and he wasn't, it was a bad manifestation, I would say.
Yeah.
Because, like I told you in our first coaching call, I manifested, and I know that it was from my bad self-concept, my previous self-concept, that I was manifesting him to be in a bad position.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I just want him all to myself. I don't care what he's going through. In fact, I was like, it was very insecure of me, and I was like, you know what? I just want him, no matter what. Like, I don't care what he's going through. I don't care if, like, I don't care what I'm going through. I don't care what he's going through. I just want him with me.
Yeah.
And then I got that, and I was like, this is not good. This is not okay. And circumstances manifested for him so I could have that. I did have my time with him, and then I was like, it was just not the best manifestation on my end. And I know how I manifested it out of my bad self-concept, and it was just bad. But
Yeah.
from then, it was like August that we hit no contact again.
Okay.
And at that point, it was like rock bottom. I was insecure, completely insecure. I was coming up with a bunch of false scenarios in my head that I couldn't get out of. So I would say that I was attempting to manifest him since August, before reaching you, which I got with you in November.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. So from there, sorry, I didn't mean to derail us too far. So after you started to see results within that first week and a half of doing self-concept alone, what do you feel like may have come up, or what were the ebbs and flows of your process to get you to where you are right now? Because I was skimming a couple of our messages while you were speaking, and some of the ones that stick out a tremendous amount is like, I keep reaching new highs within myself. I thought I literally couldn't feel better or feel more confident or whole, but I keep surprising myself with creating new self-concept highs. And it's like, I do feel sometimes people don't realize how hugely therapeutic it is, even just to like heal themselves as an individual. And like you mentioned very astutely at the beginning of this conversation, like literally just feel better for you, because you just hadn't felt that for a long time, irrespective of the man. Like you knew the man was gonna come as a byproduct of the situation, but more than anything, having been somebody that manifested him and lost him, knowing that it is important to feel good within self first. Can you hear me, Anne?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yes, I did. It was like cutting out for a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it was the ebbs and flows of it was, in the beginning, it was, I would say, I had built myself up to be a little bit more confident. I was, when I came to you, I wasn't in my rock bottom.
Right.
I had built myself up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was very little. And so when I started with your teachings, I was affirming all day, every day. But for the first week, it was like affirming, but then very like questioning. Like having a lot of questions and a lot of doubts, because I was like, I did this before.
Yeah.
And it didn't give me the results I wanted. So I was like affirming for everything, but with like PTSD, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was like I wasn't fully convinced. But then I was waking up as the days went by, and I wouldn't hyperfixate on the past.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one. When I noticed I stopped hyperfixating on our memories and on the past and certain circumstances and certain situations, I was like, oh, this is what it's supposed to feel like.
Yeah.
I cannot be like manifesting for him or like affirming for him and then have 90% of my attention be on the past.
Right.
And on our memories, you know? So I persisted with that because it was feeling just, so if I did think about the past, it would be like, okay, but that has no relevance for our relationship.
Yeah.
Like, we can still be together.
Absolutely.
When before, I would be like, that's the end all be all. Like, I can't. He can't. He doesn't have the time. He doesn't have the energy. He can't because of this. And we have this, we can't be together because of this. He has to focus his time on this. And it would be, like, very, like, final in my head. Even though I was trying to affirm, like, no, it's still gonna work, like, no, like, and it was, I couldn't. I couldn't do it like that the way I did it before.
And let me pop in for a
but
quick...
when I started...
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Sure.
No, finish your statement. I want to let you finish and then I'll go, actually.
Okay, so really quick, when I was persisting with my self-concept, as I said, it was just like those self-sabotaging habits diminished.
Yes.
And then I was waking up with like, oh no, we can proceed. And like, I was, in my head, it was correcting myself. It was like, but what if this is already done? Like, what if this situation is healed already? What if this is already taken care of?
Yeah.
Instead of just, like, it's not bad anymore.
Yeah.
You know? And I was finally seeing hope. I was going forward. I wasn't going backwards.
And then this is what I wanted to peek in with, is like, the reason why she wasn't capable of getting movement in the way she was previously doing, and the reason how she finally came to that conclusion, which she had to come to it in her own time. Although she had been looking at other teachings and doing this and doing that and being half in and half out, she had to go through her own ebbs and flows and come through her own realization on her own times and on her own terms. I just try to help provide as much information as possible. Now, in that process, the way that she came to terms that she couldn't do things the way she previously did because of what was the key word, if you guys heard, double-minded. Double-minded. You can't have one foot in the door and one foot out of the door. You can't have the light on and the light off at the same time. You can't be in the deep end and in the shallow end at the same time. You know, the door is open or the door is closed, but it's not both things at the same time. And I feel like I want to even make a video on how important that is, because some people don't realize, like, if you're just saying affirmations in the background, but you're also still attached to the negative narratives will win even if you're saying affirmations for years. Because at the end of the day,
100%.
Yeah, because your brain is still attached to the negative story, and that's what it knows to be true. The actual true art of manifestation, and to become a masterful manifester and heal the self-concept, which is the importance of this success story to begin with, is detaching from the negative narratives. If you don't detach from the negative narratives and you just keep saying affirmations on a loop, you're not going to be capable of getting to what you want. I'll be very honest with you. I will rip the Band-Aid off now because I want to see you guys win in 2023. I don't want to set you up for failure. At the end of the day, if I still think, like, I'll use myself as an example. I'll pretend I'm the client here. Let's say I have a problem with somebody choosing me, and I just have attached a reason that the reason people don't choose me is because I'm unattractive. For whatever reason, that's what my brain came up with. If I still attach myself to that reason, guess what? That's what my brain knows to be true. So even if I tell myself I'm pretty, I'm hot, I'm sexy, I'm chosen, I'm this, I'm that, and if I still keep the other narrative in the back, I can't do 50% of the work and get 100% of the results. Like, that makes a lot of logical sense in my mind. Like, I can't have one foot in the door and one foot out. I'm either in the house or I'm outside of the house. I can't say affirmations, but then also entertain negative thoughts and negative narratives. I can't have the light on, but also the light off at the same time. I've got to be all in one direction or another. Sorry, go ahead. What do you feel What do you feel like helped you the most? I know one of the things that helped you detach from your old stories, which is where some of the comments are coming from. I gave you the brain correction exercise. How did that work with you? Or what do you feel like helped you to detach? Was it mainly just the support or the answers? Or do you feel like it was some of the stuff that you got in coaching?
I would say it was your support, because I was saying, if I'm manifesting, let's say for a number, 90% of my self-concept is like, that's what's creating, that's what's manifesting. I just need to keep that in check.
Yeah.
And then what is a byproduct of it, it's like how you said, you were talking about like the double-minded, and I said that too.
Yeah.
when you guys work on your self-concept, the double-mindedness and the rumination is going to disappear as a byproduct of your self-concept work.
Yeah.
Like, you guys cannot run away from it. You guys have to do it.
You have to.
Because you have to, because it's gonna diminish. Because as you make yourself whole again, it's gonna, like, the questioning, the doubt, it's gonna go away. But it can only go away as you heal your self-concept.
Yeah.
And that was like a big thing that I learned from your coaching.
Yeah.
Because this, who I am now, I was never going to get to this by myself. And your support, your answers, and just seeing like the success stories on your page and just all of the information that you had to give, it just eased me because it made sense. And you came with like, I don't know, it's just your teaching that it just makes sense, and it reassures you in a way that I know that I can't get anywhere else, you know?
Yeah.
And the brain correction exercise, it did help me whenever it was just like intrusive thoughts. Oh, that's another thing. The intrusive thoughts. So I was the queen of intrusive thoughts. I could not affirm anything without having 100 intrusive thoughts saying the opposite, and 100 intrusive images and 100 intrusive past memories telling me the opposite.
Yeah.
And that went away as I was clearing up with my self-concept.
Yeah.
And it just like, if I do get an intrusive thought now, it's more of like, okay, like,
Yeah.
I'm able to just see it and be like, whatever, like, it, like, I used to have like my stomach drop if I like thought of a situation or of intrusive thought, image, or past memory. My stomach would drop. I'd be like, oh, like, it would be a visceral reaction in my body where I was like, ugh, I can't think about the past. And I would push it away and try to ignore it. But of course, as you ignore that, it just persists, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because you're like avoiding the core of it. And the brain correction exercise did help, but because it was so many intrusive thoughts that I was getting, it just, for me personally, it just made more sense to just power through it with my self-concept affirmations.
Yeah.
And then if I got like a minor intrusive thought, then I would use the brain correction exercise.
Got it.
It just made it more simpler for me.
No, of course. And I see a couple of comments or questions in the comment section, pardon me. Some people are asking, like, what's the actual process to heal the self-concept? That, my love, it's already for free all over my page. So maybe you might be a little bit newer here, but I've already gone into that quite extensively. But I just wanted to give you personal reassurance that literally all the answers to everything that you would ever need is already on my page for free. You have no need to even ever buy coaching or any product from me should you not want to, because there's no part of my page that's gate kept anything. The people that still choose to come in and book me out for more than a month are people that haven't been able to get it to work for themselves, and they need the customization, the support, and the unlimited nature that I bring. So although she has seen my teachings, and obviously they're quite extensive and she loves them, the reason she got into coaching was because she couldn't make it work for her. And that's a common theme for many people in the manifestation community. And I feel like once you get that level of support, you're kind of hooked to it. But I definitely want to let you know, like, all the steps are there on the page. There's also some good resources in the blueprint. And I also just dropped a 2023 manifestation journal that takes you through like a 90-day process of how to manifest using my equation. My manifestation equation is what went viral on TikTok about 6 months ago and is kind of going viral again right now. It's the methodology that's gotten every single client of mine success. So that's what I'll say on that. Now, the question that is also there for you, my love, is can we work on self-concept while manifesting, or do we need to fully heal the self-concept before manifesting? Those kind of sound the same to me, though.
Yeah, I guess they're wondering if it's like you have to be 100% healed.
Yeah, no, you don't gotta be
before getting
that.
into your desire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say when you have the right tools to heal your self-concept, you get into a position where like, okay, I'm ready. Like I'm just ready to like, I don't know how to explain it, because when you start working on your self-concept the right way, you know, you're hitting the spots of your wounded self-concept.
Yeah.
After, it won't take you very long. As long as you're diligent and you're doing the work, and you know that you're not doing 5 minutes a day, you know.
Yeah.
You're doing the work, you're applying yourself, and you're making it very deliberate. It's not going to take you very long, maybe a week or two. And I just can't describe it, because when you're there, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel like, okay, yeah, I'm ready. It's not really like, I don't feel 110% healed. There, I still get, you know, I still get like the thoughts of like, oh, but this, but I'm able to rationalize it for myself. Mm-hmm. I'm able to be like, okay, well, why are you bringing this in to your mind now?
Yeah.
If this is in the past, you're not even the same person. You don't have the same knowledge that you'd had before. Mm-hmm. Like, you have different knowledge now. That was from your old self-concept. That was from your old conception of your SP. Like, that doesn't apply here.
Yeah.
And you're able to rationalize it so effortlessly. And you move on. And you go into your self-concept again. You don't have to be 100% healed. You just get to a point where you see things a lot more clearer. You're able to work through... You'll feel it. You're going to be like in a position where you're like, okay, yeah, no, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to manifest that money. I'm ready to manifest my person. I'm ready to manifest the health or whatever that you're manifesting. You just feel it.
You literally just
And it's hard to describe. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's hard to describe when you are before working on the self-concept. Because I was there, you know. It's hard to say that. It's hard to explain the way I feel now to the version of me before I started coaching with Persis. Like, she wouldn't have gotten that. That version of me wouldn't have understood where I am now. She just has to put in the work, and I would have noticed the difference, like how I did as the days went on, and I would feel happier. I feel whole. I feel like I look back on things and I'm like, okay, like that has no merit. That has no value.
Yeah.
Like, why did I put so much importance on that? Why did I say that was like a big circumstance? Like, I'm just on the way I perceive things from the past is just irrelevant.
Yeah. And one thing I want to add to that, which is a really great point that she brought up, excuse me, and I'll piggyback off your thing, Ivana, is she talked about when you get the right affirmations and when you get the right pieces of information, and those pieces of information you're capable of now logically understanding and applying to your situation. I take it as, excuse me, maybe you guys are in a scenario, and let's just pretend everybody's in the same boat, where we have a busted open knee. We've fallen down and we've busted our knee open. But imagine that you're taking antibiotic ointment or cream or whatever it may be, and you're applying it on your elbow. That's the equivalent of doing affirmations or techniques that are not actually healing the underlying wound, but then expecting the healing to happen of the knee. When you actually laser in on what are the areas and problems that you have within your self-conception and the conception of your person, place, or thing, object of desire, that's all you need. That's the whole manifestation process. And ironically enough, like, I don't think you were there on the previous live, but one thing I did announce on that live was that I made a journal to like walk people through like what we've been doing in coaching, which is like how to run your numbers, how to problem solve for like your missing points and stuff like that. And it's like understanding that it makes a lot of logical sense if you're not happy where you are right now. You've attached negative stories to something that has happened in not your favor in the past. And if you were capable of just detaching from those and healing the parts of you that were hurt so you don't bleed on new people, you actually break the pattern. You break the cycle. You stop attracting emotionally unavailable men or emotionally unavailable women, or men that cheat, or women that lie, or men that steal, or women that manipulate. You break the pattern. But the reason you stay stuck in the pattern and the reason you stay stuck in the cycle is because you haven't broken the loop. But I can't place antibiotic cream on my elbow and heal my knee. You've got to do it towards what are your problems. What are your issues? Because the issues that Baby Persis has versus the issues that maybe Ashley has versus the issues that Sivan has, the issues that Ivana has, the issues that somebody else has, they're all going to be different. We've all been wounded in different ways. If you try to heal my self-concept and you don't have those same wounds, it's not going to work. So, my love, I know we've already kind of been talking for a hot minute. I don't even know how 40 minutes has gone by. But I'd love for you to like wrap us up here, because I swear I keep promising YouTube people I'm not going to put them through a 1 hour live, and then I just completely end up getting lost, I guess. But if you wanted to take like, I don't know, a couple minutes now here towards the end of it, what are some last things maybe you want to say or talk about or recommend or maybe advise, or however you'd like to articulate to people maybe the importance of self-concept, or whatever you'd like to end on? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to expand on what you were saying, the analogy that you said about the antibiotic. It's funny because I was probably delaying my current progress before. I think it was just because I was so blinded, because I didn't want to admit to myself that I just didn't feel good enough, you know? Like that I had that wound of being good enough. And I would be like, okay, well, you know what? My block or my wound is that I'm not prioritized. Mm-hmm. And so I would affirm that I'm prioritized. And then I wouldn't have any progress or any differences with myself or things like that, because the root of the cause was not feeling good enough.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like that's just something that only a coach can spot within you. You know, I can only do so much. I can only be so self-aware, especially when I'm like seeing my circumstances like
that's a good point.
Like it's the final round, like that's it.
Yeah.
And a coach is able to not see it that way. And a coach is going to be like, well, why are you focused on the affirmation or the belief of being prioritized if you don't really feel good enough? Because these situations seem to be stemming from the belief of not being good enough.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like at least for me, I was very focused on, oh, well, it's because I wasn't prioritized. I didn't feel prioritized, but it's not that I didn't feel prioritized, because I had evidence of being prioritized.
Yeah.
It was that I had been through the ringer, and I just, at the end of the day, didn't feel good enough with myself.
Yeah. And it goes to show.
Then when I stopped, I'm sorry, what?
No, I was just going to say it goes to show how much that work is just so important, because if you don't feel good within you, it's really hard to attract people or circumstances or situations that are going to make you feel good. And even when you get prioritized, you can still not feel good because it's a you issue. You gotta work on you, and you gotta make you feel better. I've seen people that have gotten all the reassurance from men or women, depending on their preference, of I love you, I want you, I choose you. But because the person's self-concept deteriorated so poorly, eventually that same person that professed their love for them and wanted them and committed to them turned around, and either dogged them out or left them or lost feelings or went with another person or did this or did that. And then the person is looking back like, what happened? I thought you loved me. I thought you wanted to be with me. And it's like, what you don't understand is everyone is you pushed out. And if you don't take care of your side of the street, there's not going to be any amount of reassurance another person can give you that's going to fix the self-concept problems that lie within you. Because even if they showed up correct in the beginning, they will eventually become another person because of the fact that you didn't take care of your side of the street. Sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. I 100% agree. Know that, I mean, it was just so much avoidance of like admit to yourself, you know, you just don't feel good enough. You don't feel like chosen. And that was, you know, a consequence of the situations I went through, you know, and of course those situations manifested because of an unhealed self-concept of things I went through years ago, you know?
Yeah.
Because let me tell you guys, I had a very, very amazing person, like, come in, prioritize me, and it did everything. Like it was amazing. It was amazing. And I had everything. He gave me everything, you know? All of the attention, all of the effort, all of the time. But what did I do? I had worthiness issues. I had insecurity issues. I had kind of abandonment issues from previous friendships in the past and things that I didn't change about myself, that all I could think of during the day while he was basically worshiping me, he was like, I was like thinking in my head, oh, but he's probably getting annoyed by me. Mm-hmm. Or he's like, he's busy, so he doesn't have energy for me. He doesn't have time for me. When he was giving me the absolute opposite. He was giving me all of the time, all of the energy, always making time for me. But guess what? What was the dominant thing in my head? He's annoyed by me. He doesn't have time for me. Eventually, he's going to run out of energy for me. And guess what happened? All of that happened. And then I'm looking back like, okay, why did that happen?
Yeah.
And being like, okay, like,
yeah.
But I don't want you to play out the way I thought you were going to play out.
Right. I want you to defy it. I want you to, and that's where people drop the ball. That's where people fumble the bag. They're like, but why didn't you prove it to me even after I thought these things? And I'm like, what are you doing? And that's a great example of self-sabotage as well. Because why do we self-sabotage these situations? Because we don't feel like we're good enough or worthy of them. The reason she wasn't capable of also receiving that high level of worship is because she didn't feel good within self. It makes a lot of logical sense that when you feel good within self and you work on your side of the street, the person comes back. Or another person comes back, provided you want a new person or whatever your goals or objectives may be.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, my love. Well, I think this has been really fun. I mean, I know that we've already talked for quite a long period of time, but I think we have probably even more to talk about. But maybe in that case, we could do a part 2 live, because I feel like we'll just keep going for another hour. And I swore to the people of YouTube that I'm not going to give them an hour-long story, and we're almost at an hour right now. But tell me, do you want to close up with any last pieces of advice for the people that are on here and listening to this? They're feeling super inspired, by the way.
Oh, that's great. Oh my God. I love that. I would say my advice is listen to Persis. That's it.
That's the advice. What you've gotten out of this entire thing.
Concept work. Exactly. Do it. I mean, it's it's just like, if you want to feel good with yourself, sometimes maybe you don't want someone. Maybe you don't want like anything. But if you're someone who's feeling really low with their mental health, like, go with her. Go with her information. Go with her assistance coaching. Do something with her. Because if maybe there's people out there that don't want anyone or don't want like something in specific, you're going to be manifesting amazing things regardless, because you're going to be healing your self-concept, but you're going to be helping your mental health.
That's true.
Be, like, the one thing that I've appreciated and loved from your coaching is the reduced amount of intrusive thoughts. Like how I said, the rumination, the doubt, the anxiety, the stomach dropping. Those are things to me that are priceless, that they've diminished. And
a stable nervous
all,
system
with your information.
Yeah, I love that. Don't make me cry. That wasn't part of this. That wasn't part of this deal. But like, no, I love that so much. I love that so much. A balanced nervous system, it literally is priceless. This information is life-changing. It can change your life provided you let it. And I mean, even if people can't afford one-on-one coaching, I feel the need to also mention this container that she's in right now. A big part of this will be taught in the self-concept experience for people that need something that is like a fraction of the price. You're in the King and Queen package, right? That's
Yes.
what you got. So the King and Queen package compared to the group coaching that's coming up is like 75% off. So for people that may be on a budget, and, you know, especially around the holiday times, you touched on like mental health and feeling good. So many people have that problem right about now. And I'm just trying to be people's solutions, to be honest with you. I'm literally just I'm trying to do God's work, you know? I'm literally just
Oh, I see it. I see it. I see you.
Oh my gosh.
I love you. Like, you know, like I praise you.
I know.
Whenever I get the chance, I praise you.
I know. And I appreciate it immensely because it's just so wonderful. Although I know like this stuff is powerful, but sometimes just seeing such wonderful results, it humbles me and it touches me. And I just want to say like not a little, but a really big thank you for our chaotic nature of, you know, back and forth. But I definitely think a round 2 is in order, provided the people would like a round 2, because I know we have even more results that we're going to expand on and perhaps renew and stuff like that. And things are just going to keep getting bigger and better as they are in 2023. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I cannot wait. Every day I wake up like excited.
Yeah.
I'm just excited. Like,
Yeah.
That's my normal state now. I'm just excited. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to like materialize things so I can move on to bigger and better things. But thank you so much for this time. You know I love talking to you, and thank you so much for everyone who came on or like who was listening. I really appreciate it, and I'm so ready for part 2. I love this chaotic evening.
I know.
My day.
I know. Listen, I'm going to let you go. You have a good rest of your evening. I am going to relax for a little bit as well, and I hope you do as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
How fun. She goes, the peace of mind that you've given me is priceless. Who's cutting onions? This is not very nice. I didn't agree to this type of scenario. I'm ready to leave. Get my chariot, start my car, put my butt warmer on. Bring me a cola. Anyway, just kidding, but not really. Anyway. Hello, beautiful people. I saw some people with success stories in the comments. Everybody, I'll just be honest. I'm just going to be arrogant right now. Everybody and their mother is literally getting success. I saw comments of success in the previous live. There's comments of success in this live. There's comments of success here. There's just success everywhere. There's literally no lack of success around you. You're literally surrounded with successful people. I'm convinced that my community is just successful people. We only succeed over here. That's the only energy that's here. So hopefully you guys have felt super motivated and encouraged by this. And at the end of the day, you have the teachings everywhere to Get this for yourself. And to be in a scenario where whether you work with a coach or whether you work solo, understand the fact that nothing is off limits. This woman is such a wonderful success story. I literally can't even. It's incredible. It's wonderful. It's inspiring in every way possible. For her to feel such a radical shift in like a week and a half after doing this for a year on her own. Every way possible. For her to feel such a radical shift in like a week and a half after doing this for a year on her own. Every way possible. For her to feel such a radical shift in like a week and a half after doing this for a year on her own. After doing this for a year on her own. I saw so many orders while my girl was guys, some really fun and really cool products really, really, really fast and set you up for success. But since I'm buffering, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. I love you tremendously, and I will talk to you very soon.